Hello.
Should we play golf?
I'd love to play golf.
No, I don't.
Proper golf, not mini golf.
Yeah, this golf.
Ah, see what you did there.
Yeah, it's broken. And we haven't done technical in a while, so let's build ourselves into it nice and gentle with a little 4-banger and see what we can break.
Let's do it.
Let's go for the intro, mate, and I'll show you with what all this is. Not that bit, that's Lambo bits, but yeah, let's get through it. So, we got to head back for the golf. So, fucking I was saying so again.
I love it. Keep going.
I know. You know the guy that made me the mug as well? Mate, he bought me So aftershave.
We need to go and find that. It's not even aftershave, is it? It's ladies' perfume.
I think it's window cleaner, mate. It's like, honestly. He goes, oh, it was on Amazon and I just found it, so I sent it to you.
Yeah.
So, send me nice stuff, like Lacoste white. I wear Lacoste white.
Yeah.
What else do I wear? Paco Rabanne Millions.
Paco
Yeah,
Rabanne.
Paco Rabanne. Send me nice stuff.
Yeah. Right.
Anyway. So heads back. So we'll do a bit on the head in a minute because that's stripped, cleaned. The seats have been cut. We've skimmed it. It's gone through the wash tank. That's ready. I'm literally just waiting for some valve stem seals to come up from TPS, and then we can build the head. So that's fine. That's all sat in there, ready to go. So I thought while we were doing that, I've got a new water pump with the uprated impeller, the metal impeller. I have got all the gaskets to go with it. I've got a new tooth belt. I've got a new balance shaft and oil pump tensioners. So I thought, do you know what? Let's spin some spanners and do those little bits.
Let's do it.
And then we'll see where we get to before you have to go home.
Lovely.
Home time. So I'm just gonna give myself a little bit of working room and pull this wiring loom out of the way, I think.
So let's refresh people's memory with this little engine here.
Is a 2-litre ZBGB CCZ.
CCZ.
So this is a, I always get muddled up now. It's not a 1-1, yeah, it's 113?
Yep.
No, 888, isn't it? 113 was a cam belt engine.
Oh, this is EA 888.
Oh, alright, okay.
Is it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Put in the comments below. It's timing chain engine.
It's out of a Golf 6 GTI.
Yes.
There we go.
Either way, it's broke. Let's flick these wiring loom retainers off. There you go, like that. So you can see, so it's just a little, you just got to flick it out and it's like a little hook.
Yeah.
That is knock sensor under there, so that can pop out here. And the good news is about this, is when I stitch Carl out with putting it all back together, he can watch this video. And see
handy instructional video.
Exactly. This little cheeky chappy is a tab as well, and you have to push him down like so. Comes out, and then I need oil valve at the front. Honestly, mate, I hate coolant. You end up like more greased up than a middle-aged man on a hedonism holiday. Not that I know what they are.
I don't know what you mean.
No.
I've heard about it on the internet.
Yeah. There's a I've heard about it on the internet. Things happen. At the minute, we're just going to take the coolant pipes off. Yeah. So these are like quick release spring clips. You get them. There you go, like that. And then just a little wiggle. Pull the block off the stand. See what I'm saying?
You're gloveless today, sir.
I am. And the bottom one is the same. So that's the 2 rad hoses. Yep. So the water pump's actually driven by a belt off the end of the balance shaft. So we will, like so. This is going to hoof coolant everywhere when we take it off, mate. So
stand back. So what's actually the list of components that going to be or had to be replaced with this?
So it had bent all the inlet valves.
Yep.
So we've done full set of inlet valves, full set of exhaust valves. I put new springs in it as well, but we've kept the retainers and the collets because they don't really go through too much of a battering. So at least we know the valve train is in good order.
Yep.
And then I've got all new tensioners, new guides, new timing chains, new end cover, and then seals. So you've got turbo to downpipe seal, exhaust manifold gasket, inlet manifold gasket, head gasket, rocker cover gasket, water pump seals, injector seals, turbo drains.
So a fair old list of bits.
Quite a few bittings.
Yeah.
But the worst bit is you can never drain the block. So,
and this is going to go back, it's going to be a stock engine.
This is just stock car.
Yeah.
Already had quite a few people sort of interested in it. So we just unhook it off the belt, and then you can see knock sensors under here, look. So we'll clean up these two faces, swap the belt over. Yeah. So the water pump drive gear is left-hand thread, so be careful of that, with a little gear and a belt. So we're just going to chuck everything in a basket. Can you see all this mess on these faces there? Yeah, so if you look here, look. So watch now as I start. You see all this sort of old gasket material cleaning off. Yeah. So you've just got to do the best job you can, making sure you get as much of the muck and mess off, so the new sort of O-rings have a good chance of sealing, and then we'll get a bit of emery in a minute and just sort of make sure we've got them nice and clean. You can see, look, all that old sort of seal just sticks to the face. Same with this one over here, look. I mean, the block's a bit sort of crusty. But if you don't clean this stuff off, this is where you get leaks from, because of course, as you saw me sort of peel the pump off.
Yeah.
The pump had almost like glued itself to the old faces. And it's not until you sort of change a seal that you then start getting leak problems, because this is now really sort of a rough and aggressive face to seal against. So we just need to get this as smooth as we can for the new seal, really.
So again, it's just attention to detail, isn't it?
Yeah, because you'll put it all back together. I mean, this is with the engine out, mate. Do you know what I mean? Could you imagine if the engine was in place and you were having a fight around everything else in the engine bay?
Yeah.
You know, your radiator's sat here. So we've actually got a lot of space to sort of do the job and do it right, because if I put it back in and anything leaks, I'll be like, not happy. You can see the difference there just by sort of just a quick brush off. And your fingers are telltale then.
Just feeling for any little
ridges. You can kind of feel like that looks like quite the black ring along the bottom. Look, can you see it?
Yeah.
It's a cast iron block, so you can be quite aggressive with it. If it's aluminium block, you could end up digging your blade into the face of it and all sorts. So,
sure.
But cast iron block is pretty hardy to be fair. We'll give this area a little clean, and then we can put it back together then.
Sounds good.
Alright.
What product is that you're using, sir?
Pro Detail Citrus Degreaser.
Nice.
I know. Hopefully it works.
Yeah.
And then literally just a bit of a scrub in.
You're quite literally getting your hands dirty today, mate.
I know. It's not like me, is it, Dav?
So have you got your final race coming up?
It is, yep. I go tomorrow to Cadwell, the last race of the season. So I'm trying to get second place in, they call it the Open, but basically it's a championship where any bike can kind of go in it.
Yeah.
And then I'm obviously racing in the 600s as well. So yeah, not bad, mate, considering I'm on a little bike.
All good, man.
So I think I am 22 points behind George.
Yeah.
In the 600, so just need to get my head down now and see what we can do. So, a lot of that, can you see, mate, all like where the paint's corroded? Yeah. Like all that is just, it's like if we were doing a proper...
Not a lot you can do about that.
No, there's not. If we were doing a proper engine build, then you kind of would get it.
Yeah.
Do as much as you can, like, but at the minute, just try to get as much of the sort of grease and grime away as you can. Everything's been through a wash tank, all these little bits. Just got everything cleaned up. So I'll go and get some Loctite, because I'll Loctite that, I'm scared of the living daylights out of me. We'll pop the new belt on, and then we can drop this water pump on. So new seals already on there, look.
Lovely.
Get it secured in place, and then put the cover on, and then we can move then onto the other end, onto the timing chain end. So yeah, let's get that, get some Loctite. New belts on, idlers on, and that's tight. So we're just gonna put the water pump in, hook our belt on, and we have 3 long bolts, 2 short bolts. Just make sure the pump sits on nice and square. £10 Nm. Belt cover back in. Side bolt. And that is the pump on.
Brand new.
So, yeah. Obviously I thought, I've got to change the fluid anyway to carry on building that, to put that Murcielago engine back together, so may as well just run the hoses through. So all we'll do is a bit of red rubber grease, pop your clip back in, and then just lube up your ring. There we go, now we're there. So just give it a tug back, make sure you're on good. We'll do the top one because you might want to cut that.
Yeah, I'll just do that one.
Make sure your spring clips back in place. So these 2 barbs are there. Lube your O-ring up. Yeah. And then it should go with a nice satisfying click. Like so. Give it a wiggle, but also pull it back. Make sure it doesn't come out. Lube up. We know that went over there. We know that went there. And it should literally just go like that. I've got the 2 bolts down here. Don't tighten it yet. Just snug it up. Get the bracket one in so you're not putting any force on anything. Yeah. And then just make sure from the top you're all in square. And that's it. And then they do say 10 Nm, but like on that one there, it wasn't, I was having to push a bit too hard to get 10, it didn't feel nice, so just use your torque wrench, but feel for it. 9.5 is fine, do you know what I mean? It's like, so I think what we'll do is we'll just move these tools out of the way, and we'll come around your side down, so we can pull these chains off.
Yep.
So the awkward thing with these is the crank pulley holds the timing gear on, so you've got to be quite careful what you do. So I normally pull the crank pulley out, but then put the bolt in to at least hold the timing gear on square.
Yeah.
We have the tensioner for the oil pump here.
Yeah.
spring doesn't get you. Like so. And then that's the oil pump chain.
Okay.
Right. That's then the main timing chain. So we've got a new one of those. So here's my new oil tensioner. So we get rid of that because we know we've got a new one of those. Right, so now I need to take, what I'm going to do first is I'm literally just going to mark the balance shaft, everything up.
Yep.
Because I'll take it off and they can move. So we're just going to literally paint dot. So all we need to bear in mind is that one and this one are all in a set place. So you might not have the locking tools at home. So we'll just show you how we do it here. Or how you can do it if you haven't got locking tools.
Yeah.
So let me get... Right, so we're just going to use just a paint pen. And that's it. Alright?
Yep.
So we're going to do that one like that one. And then that one. And then like that one. So it's obvious to see if you're like a tooth out, if that makes sense.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Which is what you want. So what I would also do as well, if you're doing it this way, because it's not locking tools like a V10 on these. Yeah, if you're doing it that way, just take some photos.
There we go.
Yeah?
So you know exactly where everything is.
Yeah, exactly that, mate.
Yep.
So what we're going to do now is, we're going to pull that tensioner out, we're going to undo the guides, because I've got new ones, yeah, and I've got new bolts.
Yep.
We'll drop a new chain on, put the guides on, and then make sure then as we start to wind the tensioner in, the sprockets are in the right place. So, tensioner out. Alright. And we've got a new one, so that goes in our don't need this crap anymore pile. Then we have got
lots of those.
Yep. So we've got, we put our parts down as we grab our out. We've got new securing bolt and a new tensioner.
Yep. So what would happen if you were to just not replace these?
Nothing. If they're in good order, nothing. Yeah. But when you know they've got timing problems anyway,
yeah,
like you've got to do them.
Yeah.
So it's the tensioner that fails on these.
Yeah.
So there we go. So we're now starting to get a picture, yeah, of what we've got to swap. So we know these suffer with timing problems anyway, which is what caused this issue.
Yeah.
So it was the main chain tensioner backs off and then the timing slips. So while you're in here, you may as well
cover your ass and do it.
Do everything. Yeah. The only one we don't do, the only chain we don't change is the timing, is the oil pump chain.
Yeah.
Because you've got to take the bottom girdle off and the oil pump off to change that. So they go like that, look, see? All new ones. So we're literally just gonna, without disturbing our sprockets, pull the chain off. Now this is the one to watch because this can swing, this can drop. Right. That one's not so bad because it's direct, but this one, yep, it can fall out of balance. So what we're going to do is, so just make sure you go right, new timing chain, just get rid of the old one, They only have an orientation once they've been used. So obviously it hasn't been used at the minute. So some chains, especially cam belts, some cam belts have an orientation. Yeah. But timing chains, if they're new, they normally don't. Right, so we swung our chain on. Now, what might happen as you start to put the guides on is you pull on the chain and you move everything around. So what we're going to do is we're just going to do the reverse of what we did. All right. We're going to put our guides on, and then we're going to start to wind our tensioner in, and we're going to see if everything stays lined up. Make sure you hook the chain over the plastic runner.
Right.
Yeah? So you can end up having a chain ride across the edge.
Yep.
So you got to make sure you get that right. Don't get that wrong. There's one. Just wipe that oil away. So you can kind of sit it in and feel for it really. Right, see, I've pulled on that guide.
Yep.
And I've moved my chain. So I just need to be mindful when I put my tensioner back in that it's all sat in the right place. So we're just hand tight at the minute. Yeah. In. Two, like so. New tensioner in. Literally just to hold it like that.
Okay.
So, lined up, lined up, lined up, and lined up. So we're all good, we're all timed up. So now we'll just torque them up. So these are all 10, and that one's 18, because it's a bigger thread.
Okay.
I got that wrong, they were all 18 because they're all the bloody same thread.
Right, okay.
So we have swapped our balance shaft timing chain, swapped our free guides, swapped our tensioner, everything's in and torqued. I've sat the oil pump chain back in and I've put the tensioner on, but I haven't pulled the tensioner yet because I don't have a new main timing chain that goes up to the cams. So I need to order that. So what we'll do is, while we're waiting, it's not going to arrive today, let's go and build a head mate.
Let's do it.
Wash my hands and yeah, let's have it.
So, back in the engine room.
We are, mate. Right. So, head. Noisy bastards outside. Yeah, so I'm going to push the stem seals on, and then we'll bolt it down and we will build the head up.
Nice.
So we'll do that. So new set of stem seals. The head is being dipped to get rid of all the carbon build up. So if you're looking at the inlet ports like that, everything is shiny and clean.
It's full.
We've cleaned the faces.
Yeah.
It's had valve seats cut and it's been skimmed. Literally 0.1 of a mil just to clean the face up. So there's no spring seats, no nothing. So we're literally just gonna put the valve. So I find the easiest way to do it, there's loads and loads of tools out there to do this, to hold onto the stem seal and push it on, and the best way to do it I've found is a bloody socket. So
yeah,
one in good condition, doesn't have any burrs or anything sharp on the end, and you can just literally use an extension. Stem seal fits in it perfectly, so it doesn't damage it. Pushes on the outer frame. Just make sure you're on it square. Make sure you're in line with the guide. Come around here, mate. Probably easier to see it there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you literally just push it on with your thumb. And that is it.
Job done.
Job done, mate. Yeah, don't want to force them. Just make sure you're on square. And that is it. So set another 4. There's different, did I say that? Different springs, different valve springs for inlet and exhaust. So you just got to make sure you get them the right way around.
Okay.
Can't remember whether I said that. It went blank then.
I think you did. You started saying it and then the phone rang.
Ah. There we go. So that is brand new stem seals. We've got brand new valves to go in, so it doesn't matter which way round they go in, they're brand new.
Yeah.
And obviously we've had the seats cut. So let me just get some lubricant. So I just use Build Lube. Just lube stems.
In they pop.
And in they pop. Should have sort of make sure you guys are clean anyway, but if you're turning them and you feel any burrs or they bind up or they feel tight, just come back and check again.
Yeah.
They're new valves. It's normally the valve that causes that, and it's normally where the collet pinches the valve tip and leaves 2 little burrs in the groove. So if you're trying to drag a valve out when it's not coming out of the guide, that's what it normally is, and you've just got to come back, get a needle file around the top of the, it's normally a little burr on one of these, and that's what's doing it. So just, you shouldn't have any problems at assembly because you've obviously should have done all the work taking it apart, but just feel for it just in case, because the other side of it as well, when you cut the seats, it's obviously a lot of metal shavings, and they can get hidden down behind the guides. You just got to eyeball everything and make sure you're happy with everything. Like so. I always run my hand over it because obviously I'm putting a freshly decked surface on it. Right, hopefully it's tight so you don't end up dropping it off the it's sliding forward off the engine vent.
That would be a bad day at the office.
Righty ho, mate. Square.
Noisy man out there.
What they are doing. Right, so we are on exhaust. 2, 3. So make sure we get our exhaust springs. Remember, the way I build engines is always inlet facing forwards.
Yeah.
So if you ever walk in here and I'm not here, if there's springs on a bench like that, it's always the inlet towards the front. Just
because that's how you do it.
That's how you do it. Doesn't matter then which way you take it apart or set it up or sit it down, it's always the same. Why is it I know they're undoing exhaust clamps on an R8?
I don't know.
Hey?
I don't know. You've been doing this too long, dude.
No. I'm going to try something first. I'm going to load them in here. I'm going to load the collets into the retainer if they'll go. So I'm going to try it this way first. I'm going to load them in the like that first.
Yep.
And then we're going to see how well this goes. Had better days at the fair, Dav.
Don't win goldfish anymore either.
Hey?
Don't win a goldfish in a bag anymore.
No. Why not? You're not allowed.
I don't think you're allowed.
How did they know? Fill out like an employment questionnaire. How do you feel about this? Are you 1, happy, 2, unhappy?
Let me give you a meaningful look. On a scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah.
Hey? Get it, scale, yeah? Fish.
Yeah, get it, mate.
Right, sorry.
Sorry. What other fish-based puns have you got, mate?
God knows.
Fuck. Anywho.
Haddock, enough of
I've
this.
had enough of this.
Right, I'm going to stop now.
I've got
we're hemorrhaging viewers by the second.
I eel, no one is going to like these puns. But I'm having a whale of a time.
Yay! Somebody will come up.
Honestly, mate, how did 25,000 people tune in for this?
Somebody will comment now. A whale isn't a fish.
Yeah.
You wait for it.
Yeah. Go on, in you go, sweetheart. Oosh.
That's it.
Mate, we're cooking with gas here. We're up to 3.
Wow.
15 to go, eh?
Whenever I see horsepower written down, it always reminds me of when an issue of Fast Car magazine went out and it went to print, and they spelt horsepower wrong.
How did they spell it?
Horsepower.
Oh god.
Nobody checked it. That was one of the main cover lines on the mag. Mr. Steve Chalmers, otherwise known as Scary, the editor at the time of that one. If you're watching, Steve.
Does the editor take the blame for that?
Oh yes.
What was your biggest cock up at Performance Audi? Because you were editor of that, weren't you? I'm sorry.
Starting to work on Performance Audi.
Wow. Davey's not here right now. Do you think specialist car mags work?
I think they work, but there's not enough people that will pay for it anymore.
Right.
I think so. In that case, they don't work. If they're not financially viable, they don't work.
Yeah, because this is like, I suppose really you call it.
I still personally like flicking through, a printed magazine, because most of us spend our lives in front of screens, whether it's at work, smartphone, laptop, iPad, whatever it might be. It's nice to have something else tactile to flick through and read, rather than scrolling through screens or whatever it might be.
There's a reason, right? Evo magazine's done as well as it has.
Yeah, but even Evo suffered.
Yeah.
You know, you look what it was going back 10 years, and it was a big, thick, 200 plus pages, really high paper stock. You know, lots of quality advertisers in there. It was all, you know, Omega, Breitling, all the manufacturers were in there. I'm not saying it's not the case now.
No, I know what you mean. It's kind of like, I think you've also got you've got the digital side, haven't you, where people obviously buy the magazine in digital format.
They do, but it kind of goes hand in hand. You got to have like a rounded thing. So, you know, you've got the magazine, you've got the printed issue, but then you've got the website, and you've got the YouTube channel or whatever they've got.
Because I think car journalism's changed. You went through that stage where you almost had journos, and you probably say right now the most famous one is probably Chris Harris, isn't it? But you had like, if Jeremy Clarkson on Top Gear said don't buy this car, it's shit, people wouldn't buy that car.
Yeah, well, remember when he slated the Vectra? I think what you also get now, everybody's got a shorter attention span because we're digitally connected 24/7. You know, we're being bombarded with information. It's Twitter, it's Instagram, it's TikTok, it's email, it's Facebook, it's YouTube. Oh, the irony!
Yeah, but it's right though, isn't it? It's like the last media event I went on before I left Volkswagen Group was for Skoda, and there was more. I hate the word influencers because they influence shit all. More influencers than there were car journos.
Yeah.
Like what I would say car journos, people who write words. Because taking an Instagram photo, do you know what I mean?
Well, let's face it used to be, you know, a traditional car journalist would learn their craft. They'd start off as junior on a magazine.
Yeah.
They'd be literally making the tea, running around, doing errands, and then maybe start out as a junior writer, and they'd learn their craft from the old guy, you know, the old school guys.
Yeah.
You know, and they would have a deep understanding, or they should have, of how a car works, how it drives, and how it feels. Whereas you think now you've got somebody who is, as you say, in inverted commas, an influencer.
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily know a lot about the cars.
No.
And just goes, oh, I've got a Ferrari, it's amazing.
Yeah. It doesn't have Apple Play.
Yeah, and that's it. Not what it's actually like to drive.
But like, you know, but journos, like everyone. Going back to Top Gear, everyone took the piss out of James May because he wasn't fast. He could, do you know what I mean? He could drive. You don't get.
Yeah.
You know, Henry Catchpole, Harry Metcalf. Yeah. He could drive.
Yeah.
Dickie can drive. He was a works driver. Chris Harris was a works driver.
Yeah.
You know, you don't get that now. Like fast bikes and stuff like that, mate. There's boys in there. Fagan raced.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So when Fagan says that is shite or that's amazing, and I still don't think 44 Teeth go into enough about how bloody good that boy was on a bike.
Yeah.
I think he's too humble to. He posts stuff on his Instagram, but you got to follow him on Instagram. But if you don't know, if you don't know your superbike history or your British bike racing history, do you know what I mean? You won't know.
It's very true. But we'll have to speak to the man himself soon.
Yeah, because the only one I see doing it quite slightly different is Dan Prosser's thing. You know, the intercooler?
Yeah.
That's quite different because they've got quite a lot of, Andrew...
Is it Frankel?
Yeah.
They've got a broad selection of people
writers,
that know their stuff, yeah.
But it is interesting. None of it is. That's what I mean. Like you used to get, like Fast Forward. That's probably got to be the biggest specialist car mag, right?
Well, Classic Ford, I think, is bigger at the moment.
Right. So we sit the inlet springs and Retainers on. I will undo my bench. Last one, Devla. Got to do that Murcielago head soon.
Yes.
They might take a while.
I think so.
I wonder whether I fit them on here.
It's a big old unit, isn't it?
Cool. Up we go. Don't flick out. Job done. Sweet.
Lovely.
Right. Done. Romeo done.
Romeo out.
So, we will clean. We've got to clean the block face up.
Yep.
And then I've got to order a timing chain. So I think what we'll do, mate, is let's park it there.
Yep.
I will order a new timing chain, and then next week then we'll get this old girl bolted on and timed up, and then yeah, job's a good one.
Happy days.
All right, so hopefully that's been interesting. So yeah, smash buttons, let me know what I did wrong, and we'll see you next week.
Lovely.
Sweet. Cheers, mate.